Welcome, everybody. We got another episode of Heighten Your Sixth Sense with Sean Green. I got an amazing guest, Mind Vega, out of Texas. He leads a massive community of holistic healers, helping people start a holistic business. At Heighten Your Sixth Sense, we focus on elevating the mind, body, and spirit through teaching actionable strategies, fundamental principles, and empowering every soul to harness their highest potential. We cultivate awareness, enlightenment, and peace with inspiring and elevated conversations, taking a new approach to self-discovery and steps to mastery. How does that tie into what you do for your community and your businesses?
Well, it sounds like your podcast is all about personal development, helping people reach their full potential and personal growth. That's definitely what I'm all about. The area I focus on the most, holistic health and wellness, helping people achieve holistic success, live holistic lives, and attain holistic health and healing. So, yeah, I think that's where we can connect in that Venn diagram. That's where the two circles meet, touch, and overlap.
So you help people physically and mentally, but you also help them with creating a business as well.
I like to say that I don't really heal people. I teach people how to unlock their inner healer. There's a well-known controversial doctor in holistic circles. His name is Dr. Vernon Coleman. He says that there are no holistic doctors, only holistic patients, which means that a doctor can't really be holistic. Holistic means you deal with your body, mind, and spirit. And what doctor do you go to that can truly deal with your entire body, mind, and spirit? Only you can do that. Only you can control your diet. Only you can take that herb or supplement that you need on a regular basis. Only you can do the exercise and get the sunshine that you need. Only you can escape a toxic environment, whether it be physically toxic because of chemicals in the house, being too close to a cell phone tower, air pollution, or a toxic environment in terms of toxic relationships, toxic workplace, things like that. Only you can escape that, right? And all of these contribute to our illness. Stress is a huge factor. Stress can cause or aggravate cancer, heart disease, diabetes, because when you're stressed out, you tend to not make the best eating decisions. You don't tend to make the best lifestyle decisions. Instead, you're sad or depressed or angry and you buffer and you eat junk food, too much sugar, smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol, or whatever it is to escape that. No other person can truly help you with everything that you need to heal, because it really takes all of that to heal. That's why the modern medical system is failing, because they give you a pill and all it does is tricks your body into stopping the immune response. All these things we try to take drugs for, actually part of our immune system telling us there's something wrong. It's not telling us that something's wrong so we can take a pill and silence it. It's telling us that something's wrong so we can fix the situation and deal with the root cause, whether it be stress, a bad diet, lack of exercise, getting out of toxic environments and relationships, etc. But typically modern medicine doesn't address the root cause. It just silences our body. That's why I developed the Aruka method, which I teach at my school, the aruka.com, the Holistic Life Academy. Teach people how to become holistic healers. In my school, my students learn naturopathic herbalism, holistic life coaching, and then also online business and marketing, because with a naturopathic herbalist or holistic life coach, there's not a lot of jobs for that field. We really have to be entrepreneurial and pave our own path. It's not because what we do is not valuable. It's actually just undervalued and not as profitable to pharmaceutical companies. There is a lot of money in health coaching and life coaching, but only for people who are willing to step out into the entrepreneurial space and make a name for themselves and get their message out there. It's so needed because there's so much propaganda out there about what is good, what is bad, what is healthy, what is not. It's just like the good old days where they used to say that DDT was good for you. They used to say that smoking was good for you, all this stuff. They're doing the same thing today. They're saying that all these things are good for you or harmless, when in actuality, they are very toxic and harmful.
Exactly. So what your community does is full circle, because you heal the person physically and mentally, help them financially to start a business, and provide life coaching that improves personal relationships. Everything you do is about elevating and changing a person all the way around.
Yeah. When people come to study with me, sometimes they have illnesses they want to overcome. And not only themselves, usually also family members and friends. Some of my students are already in the medical field, like a doctor or nurse practitioner or medical technician. I have a lot of people that are already in the medical field, but they realize once they started working in the field that they didn't really learn how to heal people. They just learned how to drug them up. And so then they come to learn with me. Some people are not in the medical field at all, but they're holistic minded and they've also woken up to the failures. Life coaching is there for relationships, but also helps people get through illness because a lot of times the illness is due to stress in their lives. Life coaching is a powerful way to deal with that. Life coaching is also empowering for become an entrepreneur and getting the right kind of mindset to get over yourself and not be shy and be willing to put out imperfect work, to not care about people criticizing you when you make your message public and you make yourself known. Life coaching is really empowering in many areas of life.
Yeah, because really, since it's not accepted by the traditional system, the only way to put yourself out there is through your own personal advertising, your own branding through social media, running online ads, billboards, YouTube, wherever you may do. That's the only way you can present
Oh
and
yeah,
get
I
the
don't.
information out.
Yeah, I don't do billboards. That's really expensive. I don't think it's worth it. What's been the best for me actually is just creating content, videos, and also doing podcast interviews and promoting those on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and on Brighty and Rumble and alternative places. Some people don't like Facebook. Some don't like
Yeah.
Twitter. I use the Gary V method. He's also an entrepreneur, and he says create content and put it everywhere.
Out there because, like you said, everybody got their niche. Some people like Facebook, some people like Instagram or Twitter, whatever it may be. And if you put it out to all of them, you're going to touch somebody that likes those different platforms. Yeah. You'll reach more people that way. Especially when you have a clip or something, and you just share it to all of them at the same time, then you can, reach so many people.
Yeah. And then you don't have to create as much content. You're just reusing the same content. You're just putting it into more places. I mean, creating a lot of content is part of it, but also promotion is really important.
So I want to take a step back a little bit, get the audience a better understanding, like your beginnings, maybe some of the early years, high school, college, things like that. What kind of led you to your path to becoming who you are now?
Well, I was in high school. The reason I became an entrepreneur is because I majored in computer science in college. That's because I just enjoyed programming. It was interesting because I was usually the only girl in my computer science classes, both in high school and college. There's maybe one other girl, two other girls.
More male dominated.
Yeah, it was very male dominated. I think things are changing because of the push for STEM for females in school. So that's really good. But I understand a lot of women aren't inclined to engineering and logic and math. They say that women are more right brain and like to be creative. I think I'm just kind of both.
That's
I
lovely.
like to write. I like design and art, but I also like computer science and programming. My computer science started with in middle school. So when I took my first programming class, and then I majored in computer science. College, I got an internship at the NASA Ames Research Center in Moffett Field, California. We had the biggest hangar there. It was a lot of fun. It was a research-based environment over there at NASA, nonprofit. We worked on a program called iLab where we helped scientists and researchers automate their experiments before they built real prototypes. For example, there's a scientist wanted to create nanobots. Before actually creating it, he would make a virtual version that only lived in the computer. Our program would test it virtually on computers to see how it would work out. Or if someone wanted to build a new space shuttle or airplane, before actually building it, they would plot it out on a computer program. Our program would virtually test it to make sure that everything was feasible before they actually built it. Virtual simulations ran virtual experiments, various types of simulations, ranging from nanotechnology to aerospace. We had an award-winning team, just 4 people. I got married in 2003 and got pregnant on my honeymoon. 9 months later, I had my first child. I took 6 months maternity leave, by California state law. NASA had a great nursery care right outside the security gate, so I could pump my breast milk and go and feed him. I could spend time with him at lunch and stuff like that. It was really nice, but I also felt like it wasn't natural for women to have a baby and then drop them off with complete strangers to raise for most of the day. I only see him for maybe half an hour during lunch and then spend 4 hours in the evening. Most of his time when I got home, I always had to cook dinner and do all these chores and stuff. So it was like I was spending 2 hours with him. And so I said, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And my husband was like, well, you make too much money. We can't really afford it. We lived in Silicon Valley, which is very expensive. And so I decided to be an entrepreneur, start an online business. And I started a digital marketing business serving mostly high-tech companies. I had some clients that were also doctors and lawyers, but mostly I served high-tech companies in networking, big data storage, cybersecurity. I guess because of my background at NASA, those kinds of businesses trusted me, because I had that computing background. So I did that. About 3 years into my business, I started getting severe migraines. It was very painful. I took the Tylenol and over-the-counter stuff at first, but eventually it stopped working. When you take these pharmaceutical drugs, you are not addressing the root cause. I wasn't getting a migraine because of a lack of Tylenol. It was something else that my body needed that I was not giving it. So it just kept getting worse. I wasn't able to work anymore. I wasn't able to take care of my family, cook, take care of my baby.
Okay, migraine.
I had 2 children at that time, been stay-at-home online businesswoman for 3 years. I had my second baby already, and I couldn't even sleep anymore. I thought I was dying, really, because I was in so much pain. It was more painful than childbirth, I asked my husband to rush me to the emergency room. They asked me a bunch of questions and ran a bunch of tests. The doctor at first thought I had a brain tumor, but then they gave me a CT scan. We didn't have any insurance, so we had to pay for everything out of pocket. They gave me a CT scan and came back, couldn't find anything wrong with, so just a bad headache. She gave me some strong painkillers, but it didn't really address the root cause. It felt a little bit stronger, but it just didn't. That's when I decided to take charge of my own health. I started studying nutrition, herbalism, and holistic health. I eventually figured out what was wrong with me.
Year that started the journey, first started studying.
So that was in 2006, I believe. I started taking certification programs in nutrition and herbalism and holistic health. I found out that B12 temporarily helped my headaches go away. Later, I learned that the reason I B12 because I was trying to go vegetarian and vegan. When you aren't eating animal products, you can become B12 deficient. So I was getting closer to my root cause. But then I had to ask, well, there's a lot of vegetarians around and they're not all suffering with migraines like I am. Why am I being depleted of B12 and not other vegetarians? And then I realized it was because of the stress I was putting myself in because of my business. I was not trusting the process. I was always worried, working late hours. That's something that I'm a workaholic. So that's really hard. I realized I have to for my health. I have to go to bed at proper hours and not worry so much about things. What will be, just let it go and trust in God more for the blessing of my business. When I finally got to the root cause, these were the root causes. It was my diet and my stress, and ultimately my lack of trust in God. I wasn't trusting Him to provide for me. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, I was basically just kind of backstory to how it all started. And so,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Mhm. That's incredible. So for the years, I see you have the Aruka Holistic Healer Certification, Herbalism, Holistic Coaching, the NLP. These are all different certifications that you hold currently.
It's nutrition, herbalism, holistic health, coaching, and NLP. Yes, that's right.
And so since you're certified, you can help certify anybody that comes to your community, to your program.
Yeah, I don't offer just an NLP certification. I offer a holistic life coaching certification. NLP is within the life coaching certification. The certification is for naturopathic herbalism, which encompasses nutrition, herbalism, and holistic health. The holistic life coaching encompasses NLP, life coaching, marriage coaching, and parenting. Everything's important to me in that program. Everything I believe is important to life. That's what life coaching is about, right? It's about helping people with their life. And marriage is a big one. Marriage is a big cause of stress for people, which can affect your health, financial strength, and with parenting. That's a big thing too. Children are expensive, and then sometimes it seems like they're ungrateful and mean to you and stuff like that. So we've got to have the right mindset to deal with them so that we can cope, but also so that we can give our children what they need to succeed in life as well.
Because mentally, you're not in the right place to guide or lead somebody else. So it's very important to have that all balanced and aligned. I definitely understand that.
And it's very hard to be an entrepreneur if your affairs are not in order, because it's hard to have the right energy if you're sad or depressed or mad,
worried or anything like that.
worried.
Yeah, so really, you are like the one-stop shop in a sense for everything when it comes to health, life, business, all of it, getting everything, the whole wheelhouse in order.
Health and life coaching and online business and marketing. I think the health and life coaching really go together. The online business and marketing, the reason why I offer that is because that was my first business, helping other businesses market themselves online. So that's why I could offer that in my program. I think it's a very important part. Oftentimes people, when they go through other coaching certifications, like health or life coaching certifications, they are missing the business aspect. So they have to go to a different program to get that. I really wanted to put everything that a health or life coach would need into one program instead of having to do multiple things. Also, a lot of the health coach certifications out there, they're very shallow. I know people in other popular health coach certifications, and they're my friends, and they're contacting me. They're like, what do you think I should do about this? And what herb can I take for that? I'm like, didn't you learn that already in your certification program? Guess not if you're coming to me.
I guess you might well just tell them, come on, get certified on my side, on my team.
Yeah.
And learn everything you need to learn. So definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's too easy to get certification these days. You can get it for like, I don't know how cheap it goes, but then you get what you pay for. And oftentimes you're not very knowledgeable, and you're also not confident because the training wasn't in depth. And then you have no idea how to market yourself and be profitable, even though you are certified. So what's the point of certification and training if it doesn't really prepare you for the real world? People get a high school diploma and they don't know how to make more than minimum wage. It's crazy. Why are we putting our children in school for 12 years and they don't even know how to make more than minimum wage? It's ridiculous.
Don't even know how to job interview.
Write a resume,
Yeah.
balance a checkbook, pay their taxes, like a lot of basic things in life. Yeah, I know. That's why I homeschool my children. I've got 7 now.
I think only half of the United States even require any financial classes to graduate high school. They don't only teach anything about basic finance or budgeting. So yeah, you're definitely right. That's something that's missing in the whole system. Just go out there without any real guidance with homeschooling. Y'all able to really have a community for your family and instill important values in them. So when they step out to go to college, they gonna have those basic fundamentals and ready to take them through.
I teach my children entrepreneurship. They've got their lemonade stand, and the girls crochet things and sell them. One of my boys is trying to sell shoes online. My oldest son likes to spray paint skateboards, do art on, and then sell them. And he's 20 years old. He graduated with a computer science degree. I started him in college when he was 16. He already started working when he was 18. He would work for me and with me. And so now he has his own clients and he does digital marketing for them. And they're all very holistic. None of them have ever been to the doctor for colds or flus or taken any antibiotics or drugs. The only time 2 of them went to the hospital was broken bones. So can't really fix that with an herb. Have to take the doctor for that. But even for the pain, broken bones, they didn't really need the drugs. Add some redox gel that I would put on them. And like, do you want the drugs too? And they're like, no, this is fine. It's redox gel that I have. They do herbs, vitamins, supplements and stuff. And they've been very holistic all their life and very entrepreneurial. I had my oldest son read a book about what to do after college. It says you get a job, do the best you can to get promoted and rise up in management and different positions. They said, you can start a business and grow that. And as soon as you can, you got to start investing your money, buy real estate, and try to stay out of debt, except for when you buy a house. It talked about the stock market and it was awesome. I was like, yes, this is, and he was like, oh, this is a good book.
What book is that?
I'll be searching that for you. Don't worry. I'll find it. I think it's by Chris Masterson. Let me see. I'm on Audible right now.
Give me a good book I can get my order to.
If you have, what's it?
18-year-old and a 20-year-old.
Yeah. I was reading one of his books, an entrepreneurial book. He's got a lot of interesting books. And then I saw that book of his. Oh, Michael Masterson. It's called Automatic Wealth for Grads and Anyone Else Starting Out. I gave it to him when he was still in college. Now it's supposed to be for graduates, but I think you can give it even as long as they're in college, maybe even senior year of college. It's good. He has other really good books too. One that really helped me with my business is called Ready, Fire, Aim. Basically saying, just do it, just start. And then after you maybe fail or do okay, you readjust. A lot of times people get stuck in life. I think this applies to many areas.
Paralysis.
Analysis paralysis, yeah. Or like waiting to be perfect before they pull the trigger. He's like, no, just fire. And then after that, you can recalibrate and readjust. And he's like, that is the way to success. And I'm like,
and when perfect, you get stronger by making imperfect action, you know?
yes.
Because like I heard the definition of walking is basically a series of falling, you know, because walking is basically keeping yourself from falling.
Yeah.
So, you know, when they first start walking out, they all over the place and they hold on to stuff. Eventually, they get to the point where they go from mommy, daddy, holding their arms up in the air. They pat their feet across the floor real fast and fall.
And that's the best way to learn is to actually do it, not to read a bunch of books or take a ton of trainings and certifications, but be taking action while you're reading, while you're training, while you're doing everything.
I heard a speaker, he was saying that anytime you read a book, read a chapter, the next step is from that chapter, you need to take one or two things that you actually apply into your life before you move on to the next chapter. It's like a personal development, self-help type.
Apply it, teach it to someone, talk about it. I think that's good advice.
So what do you do with your coaching and your community? One thing I really liked about you is that when you first started the RUCA community, it was to empower women, especially single moms or stay-at-home moms, to help start a business. Is that still the foundation of everything you're doing, reaching out to women?
And whenever I do any of my marketing or create content, I'm usually thinking about a woman who is struggling to take care of her family, either financially or health-wise. Their baby is sick and they don't know what to do about it. She's already taken baby to the doctor times and isn't getting much help. I remember one of my clients, their baby was allergic to the formula. She couldn't breastfeed. And then her baby was intolerant to regular infant formula. And so the doctor gave her a formula that was extremely expensive. So the baby took it, but it was like $800 a month or something like that, you know.
It's pretty expensive.
I taught her a cheaper alternative to that, and she was like, so what she did was it was goat milk.
Okay.
Yeah, her baby was able to take goat milk and not vomit it or not it's sick like formula. Goat milk is closer to human milk. Goat milk can be more easily digested and assimilated by infants because it's similar to human milk than cow milk is. It's expensive than cow milk, but it's still way cheaper than $800 a month. How she started was she started slow. She was giving him maybe 1 bottle a day of goat milk and the rest of the expensive formula. Then 2 until it was half and half goat milk, half formula. And she gradually weaned him off the formula. This is what a lot of people in third world countries where they don't have a store buy formula, they'll feed them goat milk because goats are more easily accessible. They're more affordable than cows and they're very easy to milk. And so like, especially let's say if the mother dies and only the father's around, they can milk a goat and give their infant goat milk. And that's how people do it who don't have expensive formula to buy at the store.
Incredible information. I never heard it before. I never knew that. I'm sure the listeners will be happy to hear that as well.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to get though. I get it from Sprouts and Trader Joe's.
I can't say I've never seen it, but I've never looked for it. So I will, next time I go to the store, I'll see if it's something I can buy.
My whole family drinks goat milk because some of us are lactose intolerant. My husband doesn't do well with cow milk. So I get goat milk for everyone. It is healthier for humans, but it has a
Okay.
certain taste. People aren't used to it, but because that's what my children grew up with, they're just fine with goat milk.
Don't even really use milk. I was on almond milk, then I found out there wasn't, so I don't really had milk in a while, the last couple of years, but I'll give the goat milk a try, definitely.
We make our own almond milk. We just blend almonds and water, put a little bit of vanilla and maple syrup. It's so delicious. And then strain out the pulp. It's really good and healthy because we're just using fresh organic almonds, water, a little bit of vanilla and maple syrup to make it taste good. It's really yummy.
Well, I might have to get that recipe from offline. That's cool. I've seen something like that on Snapchat or one of them. You see the videos, like, oh, that's cool. Then you just go to the next thing. You never actually do it.
Especially if you have a Vitamix. Do you have a Vitamix? You need to get a Vitamix.
No, I was crazy you say that. I was in Smoothie King a few weeks back, and I asked how much those cost. They're like, oh, those commercial ones cost like $1,000. Then I went to the website, and the ones that normal people are like $400 or $500. They're not too bad. So I'm definitely thinking about getting one.
I used to buy the cheap blenders at Costco or something, and they were under $100, but they would break every year. So I'd have to buy a new blender every year. My Vitamix never breaks. Sometimes it stops working, and I just let it rest for a few hours, and it works again. It's been going on for like 10 years.
It would have for a house with a family of 9, right?
I have 7 of my own, and then we take care of 2 more that are adopted. My husband's mom adopted 2 children, but she's too old to properly care for them anymore. Homeschool them. I take care of 9, and with my husband's, we're 11 total.
Okay. Well, like I said, for a family of 11, I'm sure they don't get too much rest. That's with the way I'm sure y'all all healthy, eating a lot of juice and smoothies and stuff like that. So yeah, that's good though.
Especially in the summer, we do a lot of smoothies.
So growing up, are you originally from the United States? Where your upbringing start?
I was born in the Philippines, and then I came here when I was around maybe 3 or 4 years old. I think moved first to San Diego, California, and then eventually went to the Bay Area. Grew up in San Jose, California.
San Jose is south, right? Or the north?
It's near San Francisco, central. It's in between Santa Cruz and San Francisco. Santa Cruz was south of us, and San Francisco was north of us. We're right in between, 45 minutes away from each.
So that's a new area.
Yeah, it was really nice. We could go to the beach, or we could go to the city. Really close.
With your upbringing, were you raised in a big family like you have now?
I only had 2 older brothers.
I know when you talk about your family, your eyes light up. I know family is important to you.
Family is very important to me. I feel like everything I do is for my children, especially. Even my mom. She's in the Philippines right now, but I want her to move in with me and take care of her in her last days and
That's
have her
important.
spend time with her grandchildren more. She's met, but hasn't really spent a lot of time with them. She's 88 years old. She's still pretty healthy though. She's great. She does a lot of home cooked food. We ate really healthy when I was young. We didn't go to fast food or McDonald's very much. She's a very active person. She exercises and walks around and cooks and cleans, even though she's 88 years old. She keeps herself very active. It's really healthy.
It's awesome. So, yeah, I think that's a lot of things. A lot of people, they make a mistake is that they get older. Like, oh, I'm getting older. I slow down and do less. You need to do more, to keep going. Because I feel like we're an electrical body, so we're electrical beings. So the more you move, the better for you in general.
Yeah, usually retirement is not good for people. When they retire, their health quickly declines because they don't have purpose. They don't have action, movement anymore. They don't have mental stimulation. That's not healthy. We are meant to work.
I know Bob Proctor said that people who are retired, they don't know who they are. Work is not meant for us. We're supposed to have purpose, have a meaning to life. That's what keeps us going, have a reason to get up.
Yeah, you could. I would understand retiring to do something different. I think that would be cool, but not retiring just to watch TV all day or something like that. That's the kind of retiring that's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. I could see that you have longevity because you have a big reach and you're touching so many different people's lives. You constantly move in and flow from one thing to the other, all interconnected into your whole community. I can see great longevity for you, and what you're building is only going to get bigger as more people find out about it.
Yes, definitely. I do hope so because I think it's very much needed. I believe we need holistic healers. I believe that the things I'm teaching people, they should have been learning this in high school. How to be healthy, how to eat right, how to avoid drugs and doctors and avoid diseases. That should be plain knowledge. Everyone should know that. Also, how to be financially independent. I think that also should be
I'd say
teaching
the
it to my
mental health.
children. Yeah, I'm making
Mhm.
sure my children understand that entrepreneurship is good, and that they don't
Yeah.
have to be stuck in a minimum wage job. They can make as much money as they want to, not as much as someone else tells them they can make. They can forge their own path in life. They just have to work hard and serve others.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You're only gonna get paid to the amount of service you're giving. The more service you give and the more value you give to people, you get paid on that level. The bigger your reach in service and value, the money will come. It's all about helping people. No matter
Yeah.
what you're doing, monetarily, it'll just keep multiplying and growing for you and the people that work with you. Definitely.
Yes, definitely. I certainly make way more money than I did at NASA. Let's just say so.
And so that's why I want to tell my community about your website. I want to guide people to aruka.com. My name's Sean Green. When you sign up, you'll get a special gift and it'll be great. It's a great community and it'll help you physically, mentally, and financially. If that's a part of that community you want to grow with.
That is definitely one of the goals for sure.
Yes, man. I know you have your website that's your name.
TheMindVega.com. Yeah, because I have the certification program that has naturopathic herbalism, life coaching, and online business marketing. But some people don't want certification. They only want help getting their online business set up. For example, someone already has the holisticpreneur.com. I have people who are already a massage therapist or they're already a doctor or a chiropractor, and they just want help getting their business online, doing the marketing for that. So I serve, as long as it's like a holistic type of business, I can help with that. And then the life coaching, if someone doesn't want to be certified, but they just want life coaching, of course, I do that too. It's all part of the program, but you only want this one part of it. That's why I have different offerings.
So you want something that's gonna be able to reach everybody, because everybody's journey and story not the same. What everybody wants are not the same. It makes sense.
Certification program has everything, but if you only want a certain part of it, we have that too.
Okay. Are you mainly doing this all solo? Do you have another person like a vice president or helping you with it for everything, navigate things?
I'm definitely the CEO, but I have a team that helps me with the student work, marketing, that helps me with technical things. And I don't have a vice president. A business coach guides me because by myself, I'm kind of all over the place. It keeps me focused on doing 1,000 things, not just things. Really helpful.
Yeah, to me, anybody that's truly serious about being successful always has a coach or two. You have to, because as you grow and expand, you need somebody that's going to help you get through those hurdles and steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have already been through those hurdles and steps.
Just
Yeah,
an
so-
athlete, right?
Yeah,
Every
you
serious
gotta have to-
athlete is going to have a coach.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant had Mr. Tim Grover as their personal coach. He worked relentless and winning. They were the best ever. And coaching is fundamental if you're really serious about being successful, staying successful, and multiplying it.
Bible verse about how 2 is better than 1 because they have a better return for their work. And then a 3-chord strand cannot easily be broken. So the 2 is like working with a coach, or when it comes to your personal life, having a partner, getting married. And then the 3 is when you have God on your side.
Oh, definitely. You got it just right. So other than your personal website, where can people reach you?
Mindvega.com, MAYIMVEGA.com. Links to all of my sites.
Like you
and then
mentioned.
social media. It's got everything on there. So that's probably the best one.
So I know you told me you wrote several books, but I guess you're not really selling them. You kind of give them away at events and things like that, right?
Actually, I give them away. I give them away online. I often talk about them. Sometimes I talk about them on podcasts or I make YouTube videos about them. I have an on hearing loss. The latest one is on men's health, specifically dealing with prostate issues and erectile dysfunction. Those are very common issues men deal with. Next one I'm working on is on women's health, but none of them are on Amazon, Audible, or Kindle yet. I am planning to get 3 books out on Amazon and Kindle and audible.com soon. One is on holistic detox. The other is a life coaching book called The Woman of Valor. It's a book based on my life coaching, which is based on Proverbs 31, a woman of valor who can find she's worth much more than a gold mine. Her value is worth far above rubies. I think that's what it says. So it's like a life coaching program for especially women based on that verse. If you look at a Proverbs 31 woman, she's a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur. She invests in real estate. So she considers a plot and then she buys it. She makes things and sells on the market. She's like me, you know? She's got a family.
She's a boss lady, right? Yeah.
She invests in real estate. She's an investor. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mom. And the Bible praises that woman, the woman of God. So that's what that book is about. It's about how to be a successful mom, a successful wife, a successful entrepreneur, have holistic health, how to have it all. Health, wealth, good relationships, good personal and spiritual life, because that's what we should have. We should have a balanced, holistic life. Get rich or work out all the time and try to get, buffed.
Yeah.
We should be balanced. We should
Yeah.
work towards holistic success. And then the third book, health is really important, because if you don't have health, you can't enjoy anything else. If you don't have health, you can't work on your business. You can't really spend time with your family if you're not healthy. Health is really foundational. But then after that, everything else is important as well.
So happy, healthy, and wealth. With those three linked together, on the other end, you should have good results,
Yeah.
But the happy part would be faith, the health, of course, and then wealth would be a balance, a foundation to a way of entrepreneurship, a good job, wherever it is, you gotta have that balance. And then, like you said, the relationship, a healthy relationship with your significant other, your family. So they're all very important, all very valid. One thing I would say, just my opinion, if you ever do your books and they get released, make sure to go to Audible or something like that, make sure you're the one that read it, because you got a good voice. A lot of times the books will be good, but then the person that's reading it throws it off. So I think
I know.
personal touch of you reading your own book, maybe throw some backstories, the better touch.
Yeah, it is always most powerful when the author reads it themselves, right? Because then they can read it with real passion, not just acting or something.
Voice coach and voice actor. Oh, we got to wrap this up. It's getting late your way. If you had the opportunity to go back to your 18 to 21-year-old self, what would be something you would tell yourself? Knowing everything you know now.
Stop smoking pot.
What did you say?
Because I wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of time smoking. I do believe in medicinal marijuana if you need it for medicinal reasons, but for recreational reasons, it's just a waste of time. If you need it to relax, to heal, stimulate your appetite, that's different. Like a little bit of alcohol isn't bad. Drink a little bit of wine on Friday nights when we do Erev Shabbat with my family, because I'm Jewish. Wine is a big part of Judaism in different ceremonies, but marijuana is not the real word for it. It's supposed to be cannabis. Marijuana is actually a racist term for it. Yeah, it's supposed to be cannabis.
Okay. Well, expound on that.
My friend told me about this. The real name is cannabis. We're supposed to call it cannabis. You know that name, right? Cannabis.
No, I know that.
Politicians and mainstream media started calling it marijuana because they were making fun of Mexicans, Mary and Juan, Maria and Juan. That's where the name marijuana comes from. And so they were just saying, like, this is a drug that these Mexicans are doing and bringing over. They wanted to give it a negative stigma by calling it this Mexican condescending term. It's cannabis. That's the medicinal term for it, the non-racist term for it.
Well, like I said, I learned something new. That's good information. Never heard that.
As an herbalist, I have to use the proper name. But when I was smoking it back in high school and college, I called it marijuana.
With your background in the whole list and the herbs and everything, do you think a person that overindulges in marijuana, smoking it multiple times a day, every day, could possibly experience negative medical effects down the road from that? People always say, oh, it's just from the herb, it's not going to hurt.
I don't know about, maybe because of the lungs, if they're usually smoking it. But I think my biggest problem with it is that it relaxes you. Sometimes you don't want to be relaxed. As an entrepreneur, I don't want to be relaxed all the time. I want coffee. I want to stimulate, There's nothing that's going to hurt me. I don't want anything to go crazy, but people don't need to be relaxed and stoned all the time. Sometimes they need to take action and to be mentally focused, not relaxed. God gave us, I believe God gave us cannabis, and God even gave us the coca plant, which they make cocaine from. And there's healing properties in that too. The problem is we extract it from the plant and we concentrate it and use it in a very unnatural way. And then we abuse it. Same thing with cannabis. Sugar, right? Sugar is not bad. It's the plant that God made. But we take it, we refine it, and it becomes this white stuff, which is not supposed to be white. It's supposed to be brown. And then we eat tons of it, and we get diabetes and cancer. So you got to just not go crazy with it and use it in moderation like God intended it to. Like the Bible says, don't eat too much honey or you're going to vomit. Well, don't eat too much sugar or else you're going to get diabetes. Don't have too much cannabis or else you're going to waste your life away. Don't do the coca plant or else you might,
Yeah.
whatever.
Basically, the premise is just everything in moderation, in a limit is going to allow you to have some enjoyment, but also be able to have productive action.
Yeah.
Right.
A healthy life, all about balance.
So, with your vast plethora of knowledge, what would be like 3 or 4 things you could leave the audience, something they can do daily or just some tips that may help them along their journey?
Daily, I think the biggest problem that Americans have is that they sit too much, and we need to be up and moving. We're not meant to be sitting 8 hours a day. Our ancestors didn't do that. They sat on the floor, and if anything else, way back then. There's no chairs way back then. Everyone sat on the floor. It's still kind of like that in some parts of the Middle East, with some tribal areas. It's actually healthier for you to sit on the floor and then get up from the floor. Just to move, walk, get outside and get sunshine more. I think that's one of the big things causing a lot of metabolic diseases, heart disease, diabetes, and all these things, because we're not getting enough exercise. Diet and nutrition, part of it, but there's a big push to eat healthier these days. I think what people need to be pushed more on, especially in America, to move more, is to exercise.
Well, that's definitely a good tip. Everybody can get up and walk. Well, I can't say everybody can get up and walk, but even you can't get up and actually walk, maybe you can move your arms or do something to burn calories. So that's
And
definitely
you can start slow. You can start with 5 minutes and then increase to 10, 15, 20. And eventually you'll be an athlete. You probably don't have that problem, right? Because of your job. You're pretty active, right?
Up and down all day. Yeah, I've always been fairly strong because of my upbringing in sports, the way I always had to work. But I did go down the path of gaining a lot of weight. This year been a good journey for me. I was around 270-ish, and now I'm closing in on 210, around 211. It's been a journey, focusing on less sugar, more movement.
Are you tall? You must be tall.
I'm only 5'9".
Okay.
I'm just sitting up.
I'm only 5, but
my ex was that height. Yeah, it's been a really great podcast. I think the audience has learned a lot. I pray that they will hear about your website and everything you do and your background. You are healing people's bodies and minds, giving them an avenue to heal themselves. They can learn a skill to heal the multitude and build a big business. And it could just kind of go from there. You start a community and they can build their own community. It's one big community that keep spreading. That's the big thing. You want your message and everything that you have learned to be able to spread out and touch millions. That's really the vision.
Yes, absolutely. I think holistic healers are very much needed in the world today. There's so many people that are sick and on that drug roller coaster, on one prescription drug, then they have to take another one because of the side effects. It's just ridiculous. We got to get to the root causes. We got to change the way that we think and live and eat and everything.
You're right. You got, like you say, you talk a lot about the Bible and your faith, and so you got to think about it. Jesus, he was a holistic healer.
Just deal with, he didn't just give a pill, that's for sure.
Exactly. You just go from that basis. That should let you know that everybody should go down that path. And if you look back in our lineage, everybody had a medicine man, a medicine woman, a shaman, or someone who looked over the community to heal them what was in their environment. What you're doing is keeping those traditions alive. Because, like you said, all medicine and pill or liquid form starts from a plant.
Yes, right. Or animal.
So, Ms. Vega, it's been a pleasure. I've learned so much personally. I know the audience is going to learn a ton. And I'm just looking forward to seeing your growth and your success in your community. I can't see anything but it exploding and hitting me because you're such a great person, great spirit, beautiful smile, and beautiful soul. Everything you're doing is just gonna multiply. I'm very grateful and blessed to be in your presence. Thank you for giving us a platform to message be spread. So.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate being here and spending time with you today. And may God bless your efforts too and what you're trying to do with this podcast and your ventures as well. I know that you also seek to empower people and lift people up and help them be the best that they can.
Yes. I really appreciate you. Audience, families, another great episode of Heighten Your Sixth Sense with Sean Green and Ms. Mayan Vega. Thank y'all. God bless. We'll be talking to you guys really soon.